In John chapter 1, verse 11, John the Apostle testifies to one of the most tragic and perverse realities in human history, as he says this: He, Jesus, the Word, He came to His own, and His own people did not receive Him. This is even rather soft language compared to the cross-reference that we're going to look at. The statement, His own people did not receive Him, makes it seem as if these people were indifferent, these people that He had created, that they just simply didn't care. They didn't receive Him. They brushed Him off. In Isaiah chapter 53, verses 2 and 3, Isaiah writes, "For He grew up before Him like a young plant, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no form or majesty that we should look at Him, and no beauty that we should desire Him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And as one from whom men hide their faces, He was despised, and we esteemed Him not." In John chapter 1, verse 11, His own people did not receive Him. In Isaiah 53, verses 2 and 3, He was despised and rejected by men. It says He grew up before Him like a young plant, like a root out of dry ground. This means that there was no reason for a worldly person to expect that this man coming from Nazareth, can anything good come from Nazareth? This man coming from Nazareth would be anything to anybody. He had no form or majesty. Nobody would look at Him and see Him to be any different than anybody else. He did not look like a king. He did not look like the Son of God, as we might think that He would look. He looked like a regular man at best. That we should look at Him, and no beauty that we should desire Him. You see, when it came to Jesus, what met the eye was that He was just like anybody else. That He was a man with a regular appearance. But with Jesus, there's much more than what meets the eye, isn't there? He was despised and rejected by men. You see, whenever a man like this claims to be who he claimed to be, people began to hate him. Whenever he made claims on their life that was beyond what they thought that he should be making, they rejected him. They despised him. He was a man of sorrows. He was acquainted with grief. He was one from whom men hide their faces. We esteemed Him not. There were isolated incidents where people followed Him and rejoiced in Him, but by and large He was rejected and despised and was not received. What have you done with Christ? Have you received Him?